Well, hello everyone. My name is Rick Passek, the FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today we'll be tying it's salmon season on the west coast of Canada and the United States. So we will be tying up a salmon fly. Today this is a jig actually for that I've used for many years for chum or dog salmon, chum salmon, however you want to. There's many different names to them. They're not the most sought after species of the salmon, flavor wise. Great for smoking, but hell of a fight. They're absolute monsters in a fight. So great for, love catch and release with these. And this is a jig style pattern. So here it is. Whoop, my light just slipped on me. Yeah. Sorry guys. This darn light keeps slipping on me. So this is what we're going to be tying up today. It's on a jig hook. So there's as you can see, it is on a jig hook. But this purple pink pattern combination is absolutely killer for chum. So if you want to tie it with dumbbell eyes like this, giver. If you've got the big beads that can go onto the jig hook that'll turn around that corner, do that. If you have neither, on the front end of the hook, just hold on, I'll actually get one of the hooks out. I thought I had one out. Yeah. On the front end of the hook, here, on this front quarter or so, just put some sticky back flat lead or round lead or whatever you want. You want this fly to kind of jig, right? You want it to undulate so you definitely, when you're retrieving this, you want it to fall, right? And get this movement of the Marabou, right? So, okay. So I'm just going to back this up just a little bit, and then I'm going to focus it just a bit on that hook. See how that works. Okay. Simple enough. I'm going to go with a pink UTC 140. Just start right here behind the jig. Put a base layer down. Cut my thread off. And of course, the one thing I did forget to grab is a dumbbell eye. So just quickly grab that. Had everything else ready but that. So I'm just going to tie pretty well exactly the same one I just tied. So just get it on there. Get a couple of wraps on it. Close to the front. You're not going to put anything in front of this, so it doesn't really matter. So just get this nice and tight on there. Figure eight it. Switch it up a bit. Just get that thing locked in there nicely. Okay. Take a little bit of, see if this will actually come out this time. Yeah, it will. This crazy glue thing keeps popping out on me. So a little bit of crazy glue. Any instant glue, whatever you've got. Even a UV resin, and then just zap it right away. Just to make sure that thing doesn't spin on you. Okay. Then just give her counterclockwise spin to flatten that thread a little bit. Just cover your shank. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it does help having it on there. If you've got your shank covered nicely, it just helps with the Marabou to sit on there a bit better. It doesn't slide as easy. So now I am going to take my wax my thread a bit, just so when I tie in my Marabou, it sticks better. So now you're going to want 2 to 3 Marabou feathers total for this fly. I'm just using some of the junk feathers I've got kicking around because, again, they're not picky animals. So you can see that some of these have these knotted ones and stuff. Not a big deal. It's kind of what you want, kind of a junkier one. You don't want to waste a good Marabou on this. And then I'm going to take one pink one as well. And I'm just going to lay the pink one on top of the purple. Line up the tips as well as I can. All right. figure out the length I want. So about there, because I wanted about half, 3/4 of the length, maybe the full length of the shank past. So about there. So I'm just going to take that and take my scissors and nip that all off. Okay. Now, whether you got the pink down or the pink up, I haven't found it makes much of a difference. I just because I always tie it with the pink up. It's just what I've always done, but I have tied some the other way, and I've never noticed a difference in hookups. So not exactly like you want it. You can give it a bit of a twist. That's fine. Lift up the tail, in behind, over top. Lift up the tail, in behind, over top. Okay. That's it. Make sure that's in there nice and tight. Then I'm going to take some of this here. It's the Extreme Chenille from Semperfli in red. I'm just going to tie it in at the tail end here. Just catch that, make sure you catch that center stem of it. Get that tied in, bring this all the way forward to, you want to leave yourself a little bit of space up front. And now in touching wraps, every time you go around, stroke all your material back, right? Again, it is a chum fly. They're not the smartest fish, so you don't have to go kooky with, you know, oh, I didn't get that, you know, I caught one of these, or oh, I didn't get the perfect wrap or whatever. They're not that smart. So it really doesn't make that much of a difference. I may have shorted myself here. We'll see. I don't know if I got enough. I should have enough. We'll see. If I can get one more wrap out of it, that'd be really good. There we go. Good. So I did just have enough. Kind of shorted myself. I should have cut a new piece, but I was being cheap. So I'll just get that tied in really good. Take the all these little stragglers here. Just cut off your excess. Again, doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be pretty. So just going to make sure that's all tied in nice and tight. Then I'm going to take my brush. Just going to brush out these fibers. Okay. So far so good. Now I'm going to take one purple marabou feather. I'm going to tie it in by the tip here. So I'm just going to stroke back, make a little tie-in point. And just flip that back, tie that in. Don't worry about that little piece, that's fine, leave it there. Grab it with my hackle plier. And then I'm just going to go around, palm this forward. Just make sure you just stroke all this hairs back every time you go around. Back. As much as you can. Okay, now you don't have to worry if you get some trapped, because you will have an opportunity to brush that out. See if I can get another. Yeah, I can. Okay, under. Lock it in 4 or 5 times. Then in front a couple. I can let it go. Wet my fingers a bit. Just get this all stroked back. You see how I'm kind of following the contour of that eye a bit, because I want to try to stay as close as I can to those eyes. So now I'm going to take my, you can see how there's some caught there. Take my brush again, just give that a brush out all the way. And I'll pull any of the ones that were stuck from tying it in. I'll get them out. Again, stroke that all back. Now I'm going to take now you can do an all pink or a barred pink. I like these barred ones. And I'm going to get the biggest feather I can find for this. So like that one there is a fairly large feather. And I'm going to strip off all the fluff down here. So there, I stripped all the fluff off. Now I'm going to go up to the tip. I'm going to tie this thing in by its tip again. Fold it back, tie it in. This time I'm going to get rid of that just because it makes it look a little bit different if you don't. Okay, and same thing you just did with the Marabou. Just make sure you stroke everything back as you go around. All right, and you're probably going to want 4 or 5 turns here. You want a nice pink collar on it. All right, so just make sure this is all training back. And again, if you trap one, don't get worried about it. You will be able to brush it out after. So maybe get one more out of that. Get this material out of the way. So there's my center stem locked in. 2, 3, 4 times. Fold it all. I'm actually going to flip it over. Fold it all back. So I get that center stem in there. Okay. Cut off the center stem. And there's also a little piece of, just a little piece of the stem of the purple there. I'm going to just get rid of that. Tied in, nice and tight. You can do another bit of a figure 8 on top here. Get yourself a bit of a pink head. Okay. One thing I didn't do that I should have showed you guys, but I don't know where they went. I got a little pencil erasers, the little ones, the little round ones. And when I'm doing flies like this, I'll put a pencil eraser on that tip, because just tying this one, I've poked myself like 3 times. So I'm just doing a whip finish here in behind. Then I'm actually gonna, I just wanted to do that there. Now I'm gonna advance my tying thread in front of the eyes, and I'm gonna do the same thing. Don't worry about that. You can pull that out. I'm just going to do it a little bit of a whip finish right in front as well. That just helps lock it. One in the front, one in the back. Nip that off. Take my brush again. Just brush out that pink. And I like giving it a brush backwards. Get everything, make sure everything's loose. You can be pretty rough on these flies. They're pretty durable. Then head cement of choice. This one, Sally Hansen's. Just put a couple of good drops right in there, right in the underside. Now you could, and I've done it before, you could take a little bit of pink or purple dubbing and just dub this in here, right in the around the head. But I found it doesn't make a difference. And again, it's chum. They're not that picky. Alrighty, and that's the finished fly. It's fairly simple to tie. Got that, once this gets wet, this streamlines a bit, and those red fibers come out, and they really move really nice. And Marabou, Marabou really moves really nicely in the water. So it's one of my favorite materials to actually tie with is Marabou, especially for salmon. That movement just drives them nuts. It does retain a bit more water than other flies, but a couple of back casts and it's not dry, but it's definitely not as heavy as it was when you first take it out. So yeah, and sometimes I'll actually change this up and I'll do a pink Marabou and a purple collar, right? So I'll do some of both ways, but pink and purple seem to be the absolute killer for chum. In the rivers and like brackish backwaters and stuff. So, all right, give that one a shot. I know it's not a trout fly, but I know it's time of the year right now down there on the coast, all the way along the west coast. It's salmon time. So I'm not sure if these would work for Atlantics or not, but they definitely work for chum. I've even caught some coho on these as well. The odd spring, but a different color combination. And but yeah, chums go nuts for these. That jigging action drives them crazy. So. Well, tie lines, everyone. If you enjoyed that, please give her a thumbs up. If you've subscribed, thank you very much. If you haven't, please consider doing so. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will be giving away a copy of the books I wrote, as well as a selection of flies that I've tied on this channel. So spread the word. Tie lines.